Hello, everyone. Luis Concepcion here from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 5. Here's our disclosures. This content is for educational purposes only. I am not an investment advisor, nor am I providing any investment advice. Past performance does not guarantee future results, and all investments involve risk. Here's our agenda for the week, another jam-packed week of earnings. I'll cover the news, provide a market overview of the indices, and we have 541 companies reporting earnings this week. Here's our results for week 4, provided 27 zones, went 7-1 this week. And understand that SoFi, Baker Hughes, Verizon, Waste Management, and GM, they are in the zones. So you can look at those opportunities this week as they either close in the zones or they're in the process of working. So don't ignore those opportunities this week. Here's the outlook for week 5. Again, a slew of earnings to follow the last volatility we had last week from the 4 of the Max 7 that reported. And we'll finish this week off with Google and Amazon. Went ahead and updated our stats for the year, bringing us a total to 14-3 on the year. Moving into the news, January is already over. Moving into the next month of the year already. Moving on to Monday, you can see we have PMI report at 7 o'clock. So 30 minutes after the open, we will have some increased volatility. So pay attention to your trades. For those of you trading futures and Forex, you can see that the Australian dollar has a reports after the market. So be mindful of that. Moving on to Tuesday, again, more got Jolts opening. So 30 minutes after the open, again, watch your opening trades. 30 minutes after the opening, we might have some increased volatility. And then after the market, you have the New Zealand dollar being affected. So those who are trading futures and Forex, pay mind to that. Now, Wednesday is the first day we have news pre-market, and that's going to be non-farm employment change. So that might cause some volatility into the opening of the market with a PMI report 30 minutes after the open. So be mindful of the first hour of trading on Wednesday. Then moving on to Thursday, the British pound will be affected in the overnight hours as well as the euro, which will have effect on the US dollar. And that is a report of unemployment claims. That's going to be pre-market. So Wednesday, we might have some extra volatility and the Australian dollar being affected after the market closes. Then on Friday, Canadian dollar being affected pre-market as well as the US dollar, which will affect the stock market because we have unemployment rate, non-farm payroll because it's the first Friday of the month. And then we have an additional hourly earnings month-to-month report. And those are all pre-market. And then 30 minutes after the open, we have consumer sentiment and inflation expectations. So Friday may be a conglomerate of reports plus what happens with Amazon's earnings that report Thursday after the market closes. So moving into charts. His S&P 500 made an all-new time high this week, and then we rejected it pretty hard. 3 days straight, we fell. Um, so there's no supply in the S&P 500 on the macro time frame. For those of you who my elite members, you know where the zones are on the micro time frame. So pay attention to that this week for possible opportunities. However, on the demand side, 68.01 to 0.39 to 65.78.09. Next, moving on to the NASDAQ. Our NASDAQ level held pretty nicely last week. So tech is a little bit weaker than the S&P 500. Well, just be mindful this level 25,882.12 to 26,206.45. We pretty much went deep into it, and that was due to Meta's earnings that took off and then fell. But with that being said, utilize this area with caution. I'm not going to say this apply in the NASDAQ anymore. And on the demand side, 24,781.20 to 24,540.95. Moving on to the Dow Jones. For the Dow Jones, no supply on the demand side, 475.92 to 472.11. Then the almighty good old rut. You can see the rut is starting to show a little bit of weakness, but we are approaching this daily demand zone. That's going to be at 2585.07 to 2559.54. Now, moving into earnings. First company I have for you is going to be Disney. Symbol DIS, and that is Monday morning they report. Be mindful, this is the last level we bounced from. You'll be able to make an informed decision as earnings are pre-market. So 102.67, 100.22 if it's still intact Monday morning. If not, your next demand zone is going to be at 92.98 to 88.54. On the supply side, 129.89 to 133.89 and 136.27 to 139.33. Next company I have for you is going to be Aptiv, ticker symbol APTV. On the demand side, 67.55 to 64.78. On the supply side, 95.33 to 98.25. Next company I have for you is going to be Tyson, ticker symbol TSN. On the demand side, 61.14 to 59.51. And on the supply side, 70.96 to 73.46 with a subsequent level at 74 to 76.35. Now, the next company I have for you is Hess, ticker symbol HESM. On the demand side, 30.64 to 29.13. On the supply side, 39.04 to 39.93. Next company I have for you is going to be Alliance Resource Partners, ticker symbol ARLP. On the demand side, 21.32 to 20.55. On the supply side, 26.36 to 26.92. Moving on to Monday after the close, the first company I have for you is going to be Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. They've been showing a lot of weakness as of late. Utilize this level with caution, 145.08 to 139.39, as this level has worked a couple of times. That's never I have for you is at 99.14 to 89.25. On the supply side, 192.58 to 199.08. Next company I have for you is going to be NXP, ticker symbol NXPI. On the demand side, 195.78 to 188.62, and on the supply side, 274.96 to 285.60. Moving on to Tuesday morning, first company I have for you is PayPal, ticker symbol PYPL. On the demand side, 52.22 to 50.24. Utilize this level with caution. And subsequent level at 44.74 to 38.05. On the supply side, 65.29 to 68.25. Next company I have for you is Pepsi, ticker symbol PEP. This bounced from our level earlier this year, which was great. This level is still intact, 136.15 to 132.88, with a subsequent level at 131.91 to 127.51 on the demand side, and on the supply side, 161.29 to 164.94. Next company I have for you is Merck, ticker symbol MRK. They've been pretty strong as of late. On the demand side, 86.88 to 81.97, and on the supply side, 124.95 to 129.94. Next company I have for you is going to be Pfizer, ticker symbol PFE. On the demand side, 23.54 to 22.78. On the supply side, 27.70 to 28.09. Next company I have for you is going to be Galaxy, ticker symbol GLXY. On the supply side, 39.56 to 41.52, and on the demand side, 15.98 to 13.21. Next company I have for you is going to be ADM, ticker symbol ADM. In this supply zone right now, so utilize it with caution, 67.92 to 70.46, with a subsequent level at 78.63 to 81.95. On the demand side, 56, let's call it 56 even to 51.31. Next company I have for you is going to be AMD, and they report, and we are transitioning to Tuesday after the market. No supply on the demand side, 224.02 to 215.12. Next is going to be Supermicro, ticker symbol SMCI. On the demand side, 19.15 to 17.12, and on the supply side, 50.26 to 54.29. Next company is going to be Chipotle, ticker symbol CMG. Bounced from our level earlier in the year at 32.72, 29.44. This level is still intact. And on the supply side, 45.23 to 47.17. Next company I have for you is Amgen, ticker symbol AMGN. No supply, just made an all-new time high this week. On the demand side, 303.84 to 287.87. Transitioning to Wednesday morning, the first company I have for you is going to be Uber, ticker symbol UBER. On the demand side, 75.94 to 71.12. On the supply side, 91.79 to 95.45. Next company I have for you is Eli Lilly, ticker symbol LLY. They've been very strong as of late as well. First, no supply. Demand zone I have for you is going to be at 930.93 to 899.41. Next company I have for you is going to be Novo, ticker symbol NVO. On the demand side, 52.74 to 50.46 with a subsequent level at 48.74 to 47.30. On the supply side, 72.72 to 75.50. Next company I have for you is AbbVie, ticker symbol ABBB. On the demand side, 200.34 to 193.64. Have no supply for you on ABBV. Next company I have for you is Cognizant, ticker symbol CTSH. On the demand side, 69.23 to 66.95, and I have no supply for you in that company. Moving on to Wednesday afternoon, Google is reporting. However, if you want access to that, you can subscribe for our Mag 7 weekly list. So moving on to ARM, 79.43 to 69.10 on the demand side. On the supply side, 180.31 to 188.56. Next company I have for you is going to be Qualcomm, ticker symbol QCOM. 148.59 and 144.16 with a subsequent level at 139.39 to 136.92 on the demand side. And then on the supply side, nothing till 209.22 to 215.83. This company I have for you is O'Reilly, ticker symbol ORLY. This company did a 15 to 1 split this year, making the price a lot more reasonable. First demand zone I have for you is sitting here at 84.07 to 81.95. And then on the supply side, 104.11 to 105.44. Amazon is reporting, but again, if you want access to that, you can subscribe to our weekly Mag 7. Moving on to Thursday afternoon, first company I have for you is IREN. A lot of eyes on this company, following Bitcoin and mining and all that stuff. However, the supply zone 62.41 to 68.50. Just understand that this has already started to work. On the demand side, nothing to $30. Let's call it $30 even to 25.27. Next company is Reddit, ticker symbol RDDT. On the demand side, 153. Let's call it 153 even to 131.47. On the supply side, 209.53 to 222.80. Next company I have for you is going to be Strategy, ticker symbol MSTR. Again, another company following Bitcoin very heavily. So be cautious with this and or look at your Bitcoin charts this week. 143.07 to 127.57. Just realize this level has started working. You should have an idea of what Bitcoin does during the week to see if this level is still in play. However, the next level I have for you is going to be 79.98 to 61.86 on the demand side and 275.51 to 310.83. Transited finally till Friday. Biogen. On the demand side, 155.28 to 148.11, and on the supply side, 211 to 219.36. Gonna do it for me in the charts this week. If you're not doing so already, do me a favor and follow me on social media. If you want to learn more about the services we provide, feel free to email me or contact me, DM me. You can get the Max 7 weekly emails, or you can join our WhatsApp group. And for anybody else, feel free to contact me if you have any questions. And as always, till next time, happy trading.